I like all these questions. It's good.
So in terms of prepping your own songs for this kind of live performance, how do you deal with like mastering and sound quality in terms of like, do you master your full track or your stems and then go back and kind of do the same process?
Yeah, everything I check in from my own songs in here is like from a finished track generally. I'll bounce out the pieces I want, and sometimes they'll be from using it a little bit more, I start to know a little bit more what I want on the pads, and I'll combine more sounds now. Like I'll know that there's maybe one section where there's a stab and a bass hit and there's something that generally all happens together. So I'm like, oh, screw it, just put them all on one pad. And then that way I can build a kit out of more stuff like that and get a bit more crazy with it. And each sound sounds more powerful when you individually hit them. I don't think there's much room for subtlety on this kind of thing. So yeah, usually they're finished tracks. For mastering, I do have a chain on here that's doing a little bit of mastering. I tried to keep it kind of basic because I didn't want it to hog the CPU. But this is what's running. It's a EQ8 here, just rolling off a little bottom and top end just to keep it a little safe for the sound system and make all the tracks sound a little bit similar to each other, so they blend a bit more. A little bit of saturator, but it's only running like on 10%, so it kind of thickens everything up a little bit, gives a bit of background distortion. Just a brick wall limiter there. I don't know why I've got that running it into an L2 as well. I must have thought it was a good idea at the time. I think this one's just really just catching the first peak, and that's catching the next one afterwards. But that's really bringing up the volume. I think it ended up working out better that way. I don't normally use the L2 much in my productions, but I like it for this because Waves now, you don't need to bring your dongle anymore, which is really nice, I always used to be scared about bring my dongle to the show because I thought I'd lose it because I have lost it before and had to buy all my Waves plugins again, which is awesome. Thanks, Waves. They gave me a discount. It was okay. But you know what? I really like. I use the Waves plugins a lot, but for Final Limiter, I really like the Slate FGX. You guys know this one? Oh, where is it? This is the business. I think I do have to get my iLok for this. I pretty much use this on. I mean, I generally get all my stuff professionally mastered, but if I'm dropping down something rough to use quickly, or if I do end up mastering it myself, this is the limiter I use. Yeah, FG-X. Looks like this. So it's a top section here is a compressor, mastering compressor. Bottom section limiter, but apparently under the hood it doesn't work like a limiter. The controls are the same, nice and simple. Just crank up your gain. It's good that you got this constant gain monitoring knob here as well to keep the levels matched. Apparently it works something more like transient distortion. The result though is just that I've never heard a limiter that gets stuff so loud that keeps so much integrity and punch and clarity. Like it sounds really, really damn good. Yeah, you can get it. You could make all your stuff sound much more clear, or you could go a few dB louder than you used to. It's up to you. Yeah, like $250 or something. Yeah, pretty decent for how good it sounds, I think. That's kind of covering quite a bit of stuff about the live stuff. I should probably show you some more about the studio stuff as well. Let me see. I think so. Do you guys have any more questions about the live stuff before I move on? Yeah.
Yeah. How would you typically transition from doing, a live song to a DJ?
Oh, okay. To get back into it, I'd usually just have something pre-queued up before I start the routine. Like I'll find a song. Like I'd choose it first. I'd find a song in the same key or a matching key, so it's not going to sound too nasty when I mix out, and have some kind of sound that tails over, like in where was this one? Like in Epic, where I've got a long sound at the end, and I'll just pretty much start it or bring it in with echoes or something. This will ring out, and I can even keep playing that as I fade it down, and the other one's coming in. That's coming in on beat, and I mean, usually I don't try to make the transition too seamless because I only do a few of these in my set. I usually give a pause, and usually everyone cheers and stuff. So it's a good spot, I think, to make that, take advantage of that moment. It's something that doesn't really happen in dance music much anymore because everyone mixes all the way through. You don't really stop the music for a second. People just think it's awesome. They're like, wow, it's amazing. And then when you bring the kick drum back again, they think that's awesome too. So why not? Everybody likes kick drums. What have I got here? Okay, I want to show you. I just did a remix that I did a whole bunch of it on Maschine before I moved it across to Ableton. So let's quit out of Ableton. I'll show you the original Maschine session of how I built it. It's really fun. Where do I load it from? Load it from here. I love just sitting on my couch and just working on Maschine. I pretty much just work from my apartment. And D-Raj was tripping before when I was saying, is for the last year or so, I pretty much do everything on headphones as well. Like, I used to work in full professional studios like you guys have got here, which are amazing. But then I'd go home and I didn't have the same thing. But when my stuff started taking off, I'd be trying to work on the road, and I'd work on headphones all the time, and I started getting really used to them. And eventually, I don't know, I guess I just got so used to them that I found it so consistent, like going from borrowing people's rooms in different countries and everything where they've got different speakers, often not set up correctly. They've either got no or bad acoustic treatment, problems with things out of phase and cables, and the rooms, you can't sit in the right spot, and it's just like, dude, I've got no consistency here. So I started making friends with my headphones. I mostly use these Bose QC15s. Amazing. I work on a little bit sometimes the Sennheiser HD 650s for the open backs, just for another reference, and checking my car, the club. Obviously in the club is a big one as well to make sure it sounds right. But so much of the detail I find I can hear better in the headphones for sure. Separating sounds, balancing and stuff. The key, you got to listen at different volumes though too, especially listening at low volumes for balancing stuff and higher volumes for bottom end stuff. But those things are awesome because they got the noise cancelling, and there's trucks driving past or the maid is cleaning out in the hallway in the hotel, like it's all cut out. You can't hear. It's like you're in a perfect anechoic studio. You're ready to go and you're just focused and you get stuff done, and you can really focus in on your EQing and hear all those little frequencies. I was working with a friend the other day, wrapping up a mix sound of a track in his studio. I kind of did as much as we can do, and then ears got tired at the end of the day, and I listened back to it later on my headphones, and it's like, I could have done better. Like, I got him to send the session over, kept working on my headphones the other night, and I was like, it's getting so much better already. I'm like, I don't know. I think the best is to have both. If you've got access to both, that's unreal, but headphones are something good to look out for, especially because they're cheap. Man, those things are like, relatively to monitors, that's like, what, $300-400 for a pair of those? And yeah, I sit on the couch with this thing, just write music. And you can get an app for this too that called Insomnia, and you can just close the lid and it keeps running. So then if you're using Maschine on the couch with this thing closed, it doesn't chew up the power of the screen and everything else, so it lasts way longer, and I can sit there and just work for ages. And this thing lets you load plugins, save and load sessions, load synths, edit parameters, automate things. You really don't need to touch the computer at all. Like, I can pull up all my Waves plugins and work with professional audio quality and get shit done, It's fun. It's nice not to have to touch the mouse. So where is this? Oh yeah, it's in here. Pyramind. So I've just tagged these sessions in here as Pyramind things that I wanted to show you guys, which is interesting because I tag a bunch of stuff like things for live sessions, stuff I'm working on. You can tag all your separate samples too, which is was one of the best when I first got this, because I can go through all my many libraries of samples I've purchased and everything and go, okay, these are all my kick drums from all the different places, and it puts them all in one place. The same way iTunes might access music from many hard drives, but you just see it all in one screen. And then you can also have things come up like, you can find a sample and go, oh yeah, I really like that sample. So say this one here, I can hit edit down here, and I can tag down here. I want to say that's a BK favorite, and I apply that. And then whenever I want, I can come back to that same category and find all my favorites. So without ever having to physically move a file on your disk and screw up the directories and everything, I've got my like favorite kick drums and everything. Like I can show you right here. Can access it from here actually. I don't need to touch that. You just go browse, sample, just go kick drum, subtype, BK fave, and then in there, all my favorite kick drums. You can put on pre here. And you can quickly flick through everything as you're working. Same I got for kicks, snares, claps, tones, everything. And whatever I'm working on at the time, if I'm trying to find a sound, I'll flick through just the billions of sounds we've got access to these days. Tag a couple, oh, I like that, I like that. And then slowly my favorites folder get bigger and bigger. And then it's nice to be able to sit down and you flick through them and you go, oh, I forgot I tagged that one. That one's good. I'm going to make something. So I like that. Okay, let me show you this session. I'll play the original track first too, or the finished actual mixed down thing.
I have a question here.
Sure.
Really quick, before you start, as far as the library of sounds and everything,
Oh yeah, go on.
do you keep a certain number of them in your MacBook Pro or laptop? Sorry, right here. Or do you keep all of them in your MacBook, or do you keep?
Yeah, they're all in my my laptop for traveling purposes. I've got more samples on my external, but I don't like to bring it with me or rely on it because if you want to work on the plane or something, it sucks so much power. So I keep everything on there, and then every now and then I'll import stuff like I'll go into a sound library, but I'll just import all the single one-shot hits of drums because they take up almost no space. They're all so short. It's tiny. It's all the loops that take up so much space, and the multi-samples of like pianos and things. So
So you only keep like a certain library for performances.
Yeah.
And you keep the rest all in your external.
Yep, for performances on here, for sketches, for writing out sketches and stuff. My Native Instruments Complete is all on the external as well, which so I have to remember if I'm going to work on the road and not bring that, like I've got to freeze all my contact big patches if I've got a big piano patch or something. But you can just freeze that in Ableton, you can keep working, get on with it, and if I need to apply more plugins, you just pipe that to another channel and put plugins on that, and then come back later and undo, or just render it down to audio, you know. No worries. Okay, so I'll pull up the track in iTunes. I don't think I got a copy of the original, but I can play what I did to it at least. Thanks, mate. Is that the one? That must be it. Sounds right. I didn't get a whole lot of the best parts, but the bits I used, there were some great bits in the vocal from a friend of mine, Ronnie Jones. He did the vocals on my track, Flashing Lights as well, but he did a track with these guys, Reese Boy, and he had this one.
Could see us now, I wonder what they would say.
And there's
They can look at us now.
I think an original synth was something like that. But the track, I just tried to expand on the that same rhythm as in the original, boom bum bum bum, but then like added a bit more melodic movement in the breakdowns as well, so that it moves around. And I wanted it to drop super simple, and getting into more of that stuff that's kind of, it's electro, but it's a bit more minimal in production. Like there's not much going on, but each sound is really heavily processed to fill up the whole spectrum. So that was the objective. We'll see what you guys think. Yeah, and it goes a little halftime in the breakdown. Fun to have some drum fills.